All right, everybody. This is Johnny Vegas Namer here with Ministry of Lacrosse, and this is Total Lacrosse with Johnny Vegas. My guest today is Lance Winn. He is the Vice President of Media and Broadcasting Relations, Broadcasting and Media Relations of the Arena Lacrosse League, the ALL. So right now, we're going to introduce Lance. And Lance, thank you very much for being on the show. Why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what your role is with the ALL?
Well, thanks very much, Johnny. I'm privileged to be on the show. You do a lot of good things for the sport of lacrosse. And, of course, at the All, we like to associate ourselves with a lot of people that have the vision of growing the game and, you know, anything from the grassroots up right up to the professional level. But we here at All, the Arena Lacrosse League is going to be a new league that will launch in 2016. We're, of course, heading out on an 11-city, 7-week tour, showcase tour. That'll give people a chance to come on out, see the way the brand is, see some of the rule changes, watch and see how quick the game is. We're trying to make it fan friendly. Not only that, but we also would like to encourage, you know, a lot of the players who may be at crossroads. Maybe they're not going to be moving on and playing professionally. They would like some place to sort of stop off and hone their skills before they, you know, want to move on or take that step to the next level. So we're here, and our vision, just like yours, Johnny, is to grow the game, particularly the indoor game, and, you know, see lacrosse expand even more throughout the United States.
Yeah, that's very well said, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what everything the AOL is going to do. You guys are doing a great job at growing the game. You and Paul St. John and everybody else that's working with you. And now, what is the type of player that the AOL is looking for specifically? Like, what can players do to make themselves what you want?
Well, I think the first thing is players have to understand that fitness is going to be key. We're looking for two-way players, not necessarily where we've got the offensive and the defensive player. Now, of course, you know, John, you've played the game long enough, the differences between the field game and the indoor or the arena game. I mean, indoors is much more confined. It's a little quicker. You don't have as much room to operate as you do out on the field. The type of player we're looking for is a player that is in good shape, because you're going to need to play both ends of the rink. We need guys that are tough, of course. We need good thinkers, but we really want to showcase skills and talent. That's really what we want to put on display. We're not about the fighting. We're not about the intimidation. We're not about having any goons out there. We're just about playing the best lacrosse possible and showcasing the talent that a lot of these guys have. Now, again, part of that and part of our responsibility at the All will be to develop that talent and take a lot of the guys that are used to playing field and sort of convert them, and not really totally convert them, but more so just sort of add to what they've already done, their talents already. Teach them that the decisions have to be made just a wee bit quicker, that, you know, there are certain ways to get open that are a lot easier to do if you utilize your teammates, different types of things like that. So we come along, we want to show these guys some of the nuances of the indoor game that they may not know. We want to put them in a nice venue. We want to get them out there, get them in nice stuff. We're going to have practice sessions, draft, combine throughout the week. And on the Saturday, we're going to get them out there and showcase their skills on the floor and for all the fans and potential owners to see. So we're really looking forward to doing that and giving some of these kids the opportunity, you know, to showcase themselves.
Yeah, and that's a great thing that you guys are going to do. And really, box lacrosse in America really needs, a boost. So you guys are going to do that. And the NLL is filled with a lot of Canadian players, and there are some American players. But if you look at some of the rosters, or all the rosters on the NLL, in the NLL, its majority is Canadian players. So we definitely want to help grow box lacrosse for American players and get some of those American players on an NLL roster. And nothing against the NLL, but I definitely think we need to get some more Americans in the proper shape and get them skill-wise, their skills up to perform at that level.
I agree with you 100%, and I think that when you have approximately 700,000, registered players in field in the United States, that there's certainly, you add now, take some of the nuances of the box game, integrate that with the already skills that these guys already have, and you're bound to get more of a crossover. Even so say maybe they don't want to make that jump to the NLL. Well, they have the all. You'll be able to showcase your skills. You'll be playing in a top-notch league. You'll be traveling around. Now, you're not classified as a professional player, which is good, so you keep your amateur status for whatever opportunities you may move on to. But I think the key is that we will be working in conjunction with the NLL to potentially feed them some crossover players. Now, I think the idea with the NLL is not just to worry about the Canadian players, but I would like them to see a little bit more of an international flavor, bring some more players over from different regions and allow them to participate. But it's hard to do. When you talk Canadians, we've grown up as Canadians, you grow up playing box lacrosse. So It's more so the field is a new sort of thing for Canadians. Box is the way they learn. So when you look at it, it may hinder some guys sometimes because it's, of course, as you know, easier to convert a box player to a field player than it is to go the other way around. Yeah. But you have some of these Canadian kids and they're thinking, wow, I'd really like a scholarship and really like to go south of the border to play in the NCAA. Well, they don't have as much field experience as they would like. So they travel south of the border to get that experience. Well, where do American players go to find the skills to convert themselves to box? Well, traveling up to Canada may not be an option. So we figure that, you know what, we'd like to bring some of that south of the border and across the country and grow the game. I think if we can unite with, any number of leagues and organizations and guys like yourself, Jonny, who are involved, and if we can align ourselves with those kind of people, I think we'll be successful in getting the word out and, more importantly, growing the game, not just at the elite level, but at the grassroots level, because that's really where we want this thing to start, right? That's where the key is getting the solid foundation going, and that way everything, if the foundation is solid, everything that grows up from that is going to.
Yeah, and you talk about growing the game, which you guys are definitely doing. And my motto for my radio show and just anything I do is grow your game. So also while you're growing the game, I also tell people grow your game, which in my mind means work hard in practice, work hard outside of practice, get better at your game. And then you'll be able to compete at the elite level.
I think that's a good point, Jonny, because I think sometimes it gets lost in the translation what type of work needs to be put in to develop yourself to take your lacrosse game to the next level. When you look at the way you guys are working out and the way guys are training, specifically, are you training for the MLL? Are you training for the NLL? Is your career, are you moving to a senior league? So there are some options that way. But when you look at what the all brings, we're bringing a very structured, fundamentally sound program that is going to be from kids ages, 8 and up, right up into, guys who are men. So I think that's what we're trying to do, to start it from the beginning, grow it all the way up. But again, working hard is something that we're going to emphasize a lot in our camp and during the tour week that we have when we travel to the different cities throughout. So I think the kids are going to get an idea of what it's going to take to get to the next level. The fitness training is a little different when you talk about box or arena lacrosse as compared to field, and that's specifically because you're going up, down, off. You're playing two ways. Field, you get a chance if you're a long pull, you get a chance maybe to get a breather when the play's up in the end. Middies too, they change a lot. Your attack guys get a chance to rest. Well, in the arena game, there is no rest. You're hard up, you're hard down, and then you're hard off. And that's one of the things that we want to emphasize is fitness is going to be key for some of these guys joining the all, and we're going to emphasize that throughout our camps.
Yeah. And now let's talk more about this tour that's coming up. We've got several dates and several locations that you guys are going to do. Why don't we run down the list and talk in detail a little bit about what you're going to be doing in each of those venues or each of those states?
Sure. Well, we're talking about our first stop's going to be in Reading, Pennsylvania at Santander Arena. We're looking forward to that, of course, that being our inaugural one or our initial one. Of course, Reading is working. We're working in conjunction with them. The venue is working hard. We've got some registrations. We've already got some tickets sold. So I think the buzz is really starting to be created in Reading. We've upped our advertising program. So I think we're looking good in Reading. From Reading, we shift over to the West Coast. We hit Everett, Washington, Xfinity Arena. So we're again, you're looking at bringing some of these kids in to participate in a camp that at a top-notch venue, and they younger guys are going to be able to follow the older guys who will also, get a chance to showcase their skill set in a game situation and a tournament situation, actually, when you look throughout the whole week. From there, we go to Stockton, California. We've had quite a bit of a good response in California. We've actually added Ontario, California as a one-stop. So the showcase game in Stockton will go on the Saturday night. And then, of course, we will travel. And on the Sunday, they'll play the back end of a home-and-home, same two teams, only in Ontario, California. So when we zip out from there, we're in Wilkes-Barre at the Mohegan Sun. So again, another top-notch venue that we're looking forward to having some of these kids play in front of some good crowds, a lot of family, a lot of friends, a lot of potential owners will be there as well, scouts too. So that'll be good. We're in Portland. Then we roll on to a little bit more east in Albany. We're also going to be a big stop will be Baltimore and Royal Farms Arena. We're certainly looking forward to getting there. There's a very high lacrosse number of players in the Baltimore area, as you know. Salt Lake City is the next venue. Then we'll roll over to Boise, Idaho in CenturyLink Arena. Again, all the dates, Johnny, are all on our website. So, I could go to date with you, but to me, that just seems a little bit. People are just going to jump on our site and see. We're over at Trenton, and then we will end our tour off at Allentown or Lehigh Valley at the PPL Center. So I think we're really excited. And as we go along, we have to keep telling people that spots are limited. So we want to make sure that the kids have the best experience, that they get their playing time, goalies as well. The focus will be on goalies as well. We're only going to take 2 per age group, potentially 4, depending on the size and what we want to do per camp. So we want to make sure that we don't have too many kids so that it's sort of watered down and filtered out. We want the good camp counselor or coach to player ratio to be 3-to-1, 4-to-1 maximum, and that will allow all the players to develop and grow and get the necessary attention that they need. But we're really looking forward to the tour. We know it's going to be busy, but we've had a really good response from not only potential owners, but from the venues. They're looking forward to getting some people in there and, treating people to a really good, affordable night out of some exciting, good, fast-paced lacrosse.
Yeah. Well, you got quite a list of venues and spots you're going for the tour. And, everybody get on that. Why don't you promote the website, Twitter, Facebook, all that, so people can find out more about the tour?
Well, you're right. And we've got, of course, a following on Facebook as well as Twitter. ArenaLacrosseLeague.com is the website. We encourage people to go and check it out. There's so much information. There's so much going on. It talks about some of the rule modifications that we're doing to try to enhance the game. Talks about the fact that fighting is not going to be a part of this game. Neither will intimidation. We want to take out a lot of the stick work, a lot of the slashing and so on that, you see a lot of that in the NLL, and that's fine. But for us, we want to clean that up a bit. We're trying to find a balance between the old school lacrosse modified to the new school. So we've taken out the things we didn't like about the old school and not necessarily about the new school, and kind of combining it and sort of joining the best of both worlds. So I think we really want to just see guys running up and down the floor. I think the breakaways and transition are a bit of a lost art in the professional game. We want to make sure we bring that back. We want goalies to be much more active and involved. Back in our day when we played, Jonny, of course, the goalie was your sixth man out there, and he, of course, usually started the break. And a lot of times, if you had a good goalie, he could hit you with that long pass, and all of a sudden now you got a quick breakaway. So we didn't want to see that fact where guys run on the floor, they take a face off, and then all five guys change and come back on. We feel that we don't have time for that. The ball could be in the net by that time, so we want to make sure that guys utilize that. I'm sure you know that you've watched the game evolve over the last 10 years or so, and you know, as an old school guy, you got to figure, hey, there are some good things, but there's some things that have been lost, and I think that the transition game is something that really has been lost in lacrosse.
Well, yeah, I mean, not now, but I mean, when I played in Prague recently, basically you have your offensive guys and your defensive guys, both on like separate ends. You know, each that you have the two doors. So with offensive guys are by one door, defensive guys are by the other door. So right when you go from offense to defense, all four or all three guys are coming off, all five. It's pretty much basically you're either one or the other in some of these leagues, and I definitely like what you're saying about going back to that transition where you're playing both offense and defense.
Well, we think that's the best way to sort of, again, showcase what these guys can do. I mean, I love the fact with one pass and there's a breakaway at the other end and a great save and another two passes back the other way and there's an equally good chance back at the other end. So we want to encourage that. Whether it be good defense, whether it be good offense, whether it be excellent goaltending, I think fans will enjoy all three of those aspects. So it'll be good. The more we can do that and the more we can show that, the better it's going to be. And we just think that based on, the information that we've grabbed from a lot of the lacrosse people that are in the community, whether it be in Canada, United States, guys that are overseas coaching, they would like to see, that transition come back. They want to get rid of a lot of the rough stuff, and we couldn't agree more. There really isn't any room for that. We just want to play the game as best it can be played, and that's what I think our focus is, and we want to make sure that everyone that joins the league understands that that's sort of the motto that we're going by, and that starts, of course, at the grassroots level right on up. We want a good game. We don't mind hard hits, but it's going to be cross-check in the way the game is supposed to be played. We've got modified rules where you can't check within a certain amount of space between the boards and the player. When you talk about that line change rule, well, we don't have offense, defense where guys, in the second period can slip to the back door into offense and then slip right back off. No, we're going to have, you have to come out one door and in one door specifically. So that's sort of the old school way to do it. And we just want to, emphasize that sort of thing just so that we can make sure that players develop and that they're playing both ends of the game. And that's what we want to see.
Yeah, and now for anybody that is interested in playing that hasn't played box lacrosse before, are you guys going to be doing any instruction or just putting out any information about what pads they need and stuff? Because I know when I went to Prague, before that, I didn't know that you should get the really hard shell bicep pads and the hard shell spine and rib pads, but I got them for Prague. But before that, I didn't think you needed that. So, but you do.
Yeah, and you're right, John. That's one of the modifications. The equipment, of course, is a big factor. When you are cross-checking, you do have to make sure. In field, you're very lightweight in field. Compared to box, you got to come with the arm pads with, again, the hard insert protection. When you come to our camps, most of the equipment is provided for you. That way, we give everyone a chance. We teach you about equipment maintenance, about taking care of your stuff, the way you should put the stuff on, the way you should adjust it. So when you sign up for our camp, you come, we fit you all up with your gear. We show you exactly what needs to be done with it, how you adjust it, how you use it, and then we sort of let the players work with it that way. We understand that, when you're coming from the field game, you want to come to the box. Well, hey, there's going to be questions, and you're asking yourself, well, what do I need? What don't I need? Well, you know what? Your helmet's going to be a little different with your cage due to a glare aspect, and you're going to have to, have shoulder pads, and you're going to wear your kidney pads. So I think that we will be there as everyone. All our instructors are either current or former players and coaches. If you look at our group, there's some almost 200 years of lacrosse experience. I won't date us that way, but we've got plenty of lacrosse experience, and we've got everyone involved in it that's going to allow people to show them what they need to know in order to develop themselves and add to their existing game and their existing skill set.
Yeah, and you guys got Chris Panos, who I'm actually good friends with. And I actually coached with him like about a year and a half ago. He's a great guy, and he's a legend in box lacrosse. I mean, he's won several Man Cups. He's played in the NLL for many years. He's not playing in it right now, but I mean, he's a legend in the world of box lacrosse. Talk a little bit about him and having him on board.
Well, I think grabbing Chris Panos was a really big acquisition for us, and I talked with sort of in sports terms as a free agent acquisition, but it was outstanding to get Panos. He, of course, again, one of probably the most decorated American indoor player that we've seen in our lifetime. He brings a wealth of not only connections as far as knowing the field game and the box game. You look at that, the way he has developed himself as a lacrosse guy, he is really expanded. So grabbing him was really big. Graham Bergsma he's Canadian born, but he's played for the Dutch national team. He's another one of our lead instructors. We've got a number of guys that currently play in the NLL that will be coming down to assist us in our camps. Of course, when those names become finalized, we'll certainly let you know. But we've got that, and we've got ties with one of the greatest indoor players ever, and that's Jonny Tavares. We, of course, grew up with Jonny, and, of course, he is not sure if he's going to be able to join us on the Showcase Tour, but he, too, is liking what we're doing, and he's affiliated as well. So we certainly have good guys that understand the need to grow the game, and certainly the indoor game south of the border. And we say south of the border because we just think that it's a vast wilderness of lacrosse out there indoor. And if we can sort of tie everybody together, we can create a really good opportunity for a lot of indoor lacrosse players to develop and showcase and, hey, maybe make some money and maybe have some fun and maybe extend your career just a little bit when it comes to the game of lacrosse. It will also give these older guys a chance to give back and mentor some of these younger guys who may be sitting up in the stands wearing their jersey come the Saturday night of the Showcase Tour. So that's what we're hoping is going to happen, and that's kind of why we've aligned ourselves with guys like Chris Panos and Graham Bergsma. It's just strictly because those are lacrosse guys. They know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, and we think we'll get a good response with those guys on our squad.
Yeah, and I was talking to Paul St. John, and he was saying that maybe next week Graham will do an interview with me, and then since I'm friends with Chris Panos, I'll try to get him on as well, either that show or a different show. But I mean that week or a different week. But I definitely like to keep going with this, keep promoting the all, and keep growing the game with you guys.
Well, Jonny, we appreciate what you do not only for the game, but what you're doing for the all as well. And we hope that there'll be a stop on the Showcase Tour where we can get you in and we'll get you a ticket or a couple tickets and sit you in the VIP and maybe treat you right as far as our gratitude to say thanks and bring you out and you can showcase, what we're trying to do and sort of build our partnership with you as well going forward into the inaugural season in 2016.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, and I definitely thank you guys for all that. And we're definitely going to be doing a lot of promoting for you guys, and we're very excited for this. We definitely want to see box lacrosse grow in America. We want to see this game of box lacrosse get to the level that it should be at, which you guys are going to do a great job at getting it there. So now, before we end, I just want to make sure everybody remembers, check out arenalacrosseleague.com, and then on Facebook, hit like on the Arena Lacrosse League's Facebook page. Twitter, what is the handle again?
I had it written down and don't have it at hand right now, but I know it's all over the website.
Yeah.
So
So
forgive me for that, Mr. Vegas.
no worries. Yeah, guys, just look up on Twitter, search Arena Lacrosse League, and you'll find it. And yeah, thank you very much for being on the show, and I will definitely be doing this again.
Thanks for having me, Johnny. I appreciate it, and good luck and keep doing what you're doing for the sport of lacrosse.
Thank you. You too. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for tuning in. And without further ado, I'm Jonny Vegas, reminding all of you to grow your game. And remember, to grow, you got to play. Happy lacrossing, everybody. Until next time.